Hello and welcome to Sweet 16, where we play the sweetest 16 minutes of gameplay of the latest and greatest games. My name is Harry and joining me is Joe. Hey Joe.
Hey, how you doing?
What are we playing today?
This is Wild Hearts, which is basically a take on the Monster Hunter genre.
Fantastic. Oh my goodness, this is a heck of a monster.
Yep, this is, I believe he's called the King Tusk.
The King Tusk.
So these monsters are called kimonos. And there's a whole bunch of them, obviously, throughout the world. This is, I think, the third one you fight in the game. There was like a big rat before and some other kind of creature. So kind of like their whole design is nature-y, warped versions of animals. So as you can see, he's got lots of roots growing on him.
Yeah, I imagine this feels like Princess Mononoke. There's a lot of Studio Ghibli vibes in this.
Yeah, I can see that. It's set in I think they called it feudal fantasy Japan.
Right. Oh, here we go. You got your... Oh my god, is that a bow?
Yeah, it's a bow. So there's a whole bunch of different weapons. I was playing with a sword up to this point, and I just equipped the bow, so I was still kind of figuring out how it worked.
Right. And so in Monster Hunter, you're like hunting monsters for basically like reputation, etc. Are you defending the village? Is that why we're killing monsters here?
So the story, without getting into too much detail, is basically like these monsters were all very peaceful, and now they're all not peaceful, and we kind of have to sort of put them down and figure out what's going on.
I see. So there is this pretty strong story to it already.
I mean, the story didn't feel like, hugely epic or anything, but there's definitely story there.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
So as you can see at the moment, I've put down this giant like crossbow thing.
Oh my god.
Which you can then sort of shoot a grapple across the map, and these things actually stay on the map forever.
Oh, really? After you build it?
After you build it, they'll stay on your map forever. Yeah.
Does it take a lot of resources to build this permanent structure?
No, but what they do have is things called, it's like there's a dragon load that you need to unlock to place things. So the more dragon load you have in an area, the more of these structures you can place.
Wow, that's really cool though. So you're essentially building traversal things. Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's using that actually sort of gives you a little bonus as you go into the fight, unlocks a special little attack to kick things off.
That's incredible. I didn't realize you'd set it right on the boss, like monster.
Yep.
You're getting right into it.
Yeah, so I should also point out that this can be played with up to 3 players in co-op. So it can be online. I think you can do the whole thing co-op. You can also request assistance for your fights, or you can like go and jump into other people's fights and just like get some resources and then jump out. They'll get to play with all your little contraptions you put in your world.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, the big pull on Monster Hunter was the multi in that, and I'm glad it's still in this too. Oh my goodness, what was that? What did you just make here?
So that was just a barricade. So you make these things, let me just double check how they're called karakuri. So you can build these little contraptions during the fights.
Yeah.
Basically, the first one starts off like just 3 crates on top of each other, and that lets you sort of jump up and get a special, heavy attack. And then you had a flash of inspiration there that basically just taught you to build this barricade. So when this guy charges into the barricade, it like sends him flying back.
Wait, tell me about this flash of inspiration. Is this some kind of feature of the gameplay?
Yeah, so you might have seen it just a little while ago. Basically, it just came up with like almost a quick time event and was like press this and build this structure, and then just taught you how to do it in the middle of a fight.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
That they made it like a creative inspiration thing in the moment of peril.
Yep.
That you're able to think up of a new structure. And do you get to use that permanently from now on, like that thing that you just learned?
Correct, yeah. I don't know if I could have done it before. I think you kind of have to wait for it, the inspiration to strike before you can do it. So it's not like if you just jump into the game and start a fresh game, you can actually build these things from scratch. You might be able to though. I don't know. I didn't test that.
That's really cool as a sort of progression system though, because it sort of motivates you to meet new monsters and try to get more inspiration to build new things. That's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. So as you can see, when I launch off that, it kind of triggers this super powerful attack.
Oh.
And then when I land, there's also like a secondary powerful attack it lets me do. And really, you kind of have to use these things. Like, you can see like a single arrow there is doing like 1 or 7 damage or something, whereas like a powerful attack's doing 100, 200 damage.
Yeah, right. And I saw on the side of the beast as well, there was a sort of blue, is that a weak point?
I believe so. What you can actually do, and I don't really show it off in any of this footage because I was playing a ranged character. You can actually like scale the monsters like Shadow of the Colossus style and like stab them and stuff like that.
Awesome. That seems cool. But like the glowing parts, I guess, like, does it turn into sort of like a quick time or cutscene thing where you like cut into them?
I think the glowing parts actually get you some health back that you can use. I was trying to shoot them because obviously glowy thing makes me want to shoot it, but it didn't seem to be doing extra damage as far as I could tell.
Okay.
So the footage is kind of like jumping through this battle because it was like a 40-minute fight in like 3 different phases.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's very Monster Hunter.
Yeah, he stunned me here and is just completely wrecking me at the moment.
Oh. And this is like another phase in this boss, right? It's got flame tusks now.
Yeah, the flame tusks sort of come out, and they are definitely a weak point, and you could like shoot them off.
Oh, I see. Wow. It's really turned it up a notch.
Yeah, I do love the design of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is some like camera jankiness, and I did feel like there's something about the feel of the gameplay that was a bit, I don't know what the right word is, sluggish maybe,
Right.
I guess. Like, it didn't feel super smooth. It is alpha. Hopefully some of like the performance issues get sorted out because there's a few like judders and stuff you'll probably notice. It just felt a little, it's weird. It's like, it's fast paced, but at the same time, it feels a little like everything's happening in slow-mo. Weird to say.
Well, when I played Monster Hunter, it was a pretty similar thing where like, it wasn't, I think it wasn't supposed to be snappy. It was almost like you had to feel the weight of everything, which built the tension up of the gameplay for sure. But then also like, you know, if you're coming off of playing kind of twitchier games like Apex Legends or whatever, or it does feel a bit, not that they're the same kind of game, but yeah.
No, completely different. But it's just, I don't know, it's an interesting, I guess as you say, it's like it's meant to be a weighty, slow kind of combat system where it's like building up this attack here takes 5 or 6 seconds. So you really got to kind of make sure you're timing that right with the monster's attacks and stuff to not be vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about timing. And so have you knocked the tusks off here? Is that what's happened and that's why it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I've knocked that tusk off. He's actually like leaving the fight. This is the end of this phase. He's running away.
Wow. Oh, I like that it has different like phases through the environment as well. Because before I saw you climb like a bridge that was made out of like twisted roots.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful. I mean, aside from that sort of janky, glitched horn and floating in the middle of the air there, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great design. Apparently the world, I think like this is only sort of the first little chunk of the game. It didn't really open up completely. But apparently there's 4 main areas of the open world, each based on a season. So there's like a summer zone, a spring zone, winter zone. Each with sort of like different castles and Japanese inspiration behind the designs.
I love that. And you're gathering little resources along the way. And I'm assuming this will help you with, when you create those, the wooden box structures, does that take any resource?
It does. So if you look like right center bottom of the screen, there's like left bumper 12. That's your Karakuri thread. As you can see, like that's from a previous fight. I've got some boxes there from a thing I fought before. So everything stays in the world.
Wow. And so this trail as well, is this, it's telling you where the boss is?
Correct. That trail's just showing me which way to go to get to the boss.
Right.
This is like a little healing well I set up before. It'll replenish my potions.
You built this?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I do love that sort of like architectural side to this where you're kind of building things for your own journey along the way. You're building things to help you, sort of like planning ahead in a way almost.
It's almost like a little bit Death Stranding in a way. Like
putting
down these little structures to help you get around the world quicker.
Yeah, it's so cool. Now, are there besides the grapple hook thing that you made, are there any other traversal options for you? Like, because that's when you are on high ground to zip down. But what if like you're traversing along the ground like you are now?
Well, you can definitely use them to get from low ground to high as well. That's kind of how you get up to that cliff in the first place.
Right.
You can just like grapple around in any direction. I didn't see any other traversal things, but they do let you build like campsites to cook at, things to like crafting stations and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, look at this field.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So are you much of a Monster Hunter player?
Look, I tried to get into it because my mates were really tried to persuade me into it, but it just, I don't know, it took too long for me, I guess, which is my only issue. But watching this right now, looks like it's quite quick and snappy. How about you?
Yeah, I tried to get into Monster Hunter World and played, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hours, and it just never quite grabbed me. I mean, yeah, whoa. I tried, but this is meant to be kind of the Monster Hunter game for people who didn't like Monster Hunter that much, in a way. I think is what they're going for.
Yeah.
So it's trying to appeal to both crowds. Obviously, it's trying to appeal to the people who do love that kind of thing, and also maybe be a little bit faster and snappier and a bit more action based for people who found it maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, I do like also, I mean, Monster Hunter has a very strong aesthetic as well, but this visually has its own sort of character, which I like. Like it's riding that obviously fantasy feudal Japan wave, but also it's slightly that Studio Ghibli kind of fantasy animal vicious like nature type thing. I really like.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely because like the Monster Hunter monsters are sort of quite traditional dragons and wyverns and like cool designs by all means, but they're sort of very traditional monsters. Whereas these are that kind of like a bit more fantasy, melding that nature, all these roots and stuff sticking off of it. It's very cool.
Yeah, and I noticed as well when you shot the arrow, the tusk broke off, so it looked like there was some kind of like, not environmental damage, but incremental sort of damage being shown from the animal, which is cool, like to show you that you're actually hurting it. Yeah,
definitely. Because there's no health bar, there's no indication of how much damage you're really doing to it other than those sort of very visual indicators.
Yeah, see, that's one thing that like Monster Hunter, like every monster felt like a marathon.
Yeah. And
whereas this seems to feel like more progression going.
Well, I mean, I have been zipping through the footage. This was like 40 minutes into the fight, so it is a bit of a marathon.
Yeah, okay. So it's still, I mean, that's a lot of people like that about Monster Hunter too, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Like being able to take down this gigantic monster with your mates and it feeling like an actual, something that you're achieving.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Obviously, it scales it depending on how many people are attacking it, I guess, like the boss. Like if you're with your mates, yeah.
Yeah, correct. It scales based on how many people are there. And you also, if you're playing solo, I don't know if you might have noticed, there's a little thing that says Tsukomo. He's like this little contraption ball guy who runs around and throws crates at him and does like almost no damage. But if you're playing solo, you have these little helpers that will help you out.
That is...
Yeah,
I mean, it's so quick. It is so quick.
And so at the moment, I've run out of my thread. So I'm trying to run around and replenish that. You'll find little sort of rock nodes around the place you can mine to get them.
So does thread only increase when you gather resources, or is it also like an over time type of...
Yeah, you have to gather it. It also, if you like destroy something you've built, that will drop some thread you can recover.
Okay.
But yeah, just in the middle of a fight, have to do a quick little bit of mining.
Yeah, this is so tense. I don't like that you have your back against this massive fireball. Okay, so... Wow. When it smashes into your wooden box wall, it just goes flying.
Yeah. If you build it at the right time as it's charging, or if it charges into a wall you've built, it sends it flying back and knocks it down on its stomach, giving you, plenty of time to get some hits in.
And how did you decide, like, how do you choose between just a single column versus a wall? Is it easy to just flick through that menu option, or how did it
Yeah,
work?
so that's super easy. You just hold down left bumper and then you just like tap X once and that'll build like a single crate. And if you press it 3 times, you'll build a single tower. 6 times, you build like the whole wall. And it kind of sort of automatically snaps to those constructions. Like you could build, if you looked around, you could kind of build them separately. But if you just like hold left bumper and spam crate 6 times, it'll build it up automatically for you.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that was it. That was it.
got him. Oh my goodness. Well,
But you also then, in a final act, you have to do the final blow to all these beasts.
oh really? Oh, I hate this. This is the thing I hated about God of War.
But
That
it's like,
scene.
it's with respect, you know?
Oh, that's good.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort
Just
of.
annihilating.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was awesome. That was Sweet 16 of Wild Hearts. Thank you so much for joining me, Joe. I'm Harry, and hey, if you're keen on checking out Wild Hearts, let me know in the comments below. Let's see how it'll shape up against Monster Hunter, and we'll see you next time. Bye.